Now last, coming to the terminal methods of contraception, that is the sterilization. Now the first question which we should know is that what are the guidelines for the case selection which fit for sterilization, right? We can't do the sterilization or the permanent methods in any cases. Now what are the cases in which we can go for it? So client should be ever married. Male client should ideally be below the age of 60 years. Female client should be below the age of 49 and above the age of 22. The couple have at least one child whose age is above 1 year unless the sterilization is medically indicated. Clients or their spouses, partners must not have undergone sterilization in the past. Clients must be in a sound state of mind to understand the full implications of sterilization. Mentally ill clients must be certified by a psychiatrist, and a statement should be given by the legal guardian or the spouse regarding the soundness of client's state of mind. Now, what are the advantages of terminal method of sterilization? First is, it does not require sustained motivation. Second, it is the most effective method of contraception. Third, low rate of complications if the surgery is correctly performed. And fourth, does not require any action at the time of intercourse, right? Does not require motivation, most effective, low complications, and at the time of intercourse also it does not require any action. Disadvantages: need for a trained doctor to perform the surgery, need for facilities for surgery, reversibility is difficult, does not protect against the STD and HIV. Right? So trained doctor, proper surgery. Then if you say to reverse it, ये नहीं हो सकता, and it does not protect against STD or your HIV. Which sterilization, male or female surgery is preferable and why? Vasectomy is preferable as it is simple, safer and cheaper than tubectomy. If you talk like in that point of view, per many cases it is not seen, right? Under which scheme is a client compensated for a failure of a sterilization surgery? So compensation is made under the Government of India Family Planning Insurance Scheme and the amount is revised from time to time. ये बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट बात है एंड इट इज़ प्री पीजी क्वेश्चन ऑल्सो कि कौन सी स्कीम के अंडर ये आती है स्टेरिलाइजेशन सर्जरी. सो अगेन आई एम रिपीटिंग, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया फैमिली प्लानिंग इंश्योरेंस स्कीम. अब शॉर्ट में दोनों प्रोसीजर्स देख लेते हैं. पहला है मेल स्टेरिलाइजेशन, या इसको हम वैसेक्टॉमी भी कहते हैं. ठीक है, सबसे पहले शॉर्ट में आई एम गोइंग टू जस्ट इन्यूमरेट की स्टेप्स क्या क्या होंगे. प्रोसीजर ऑफ वैसेक्टॉमी: वास इज क्लैम्प्ड एट द 2 पॉइंट्स. ठीक है, ये फाइनल ईयर में सर्जरी में तो आपसे पूछा जाएगा और आपको पढ़ना भी है, पर यहाँ पे हम एक जस्ट शॉर्ट रिव्यू देख लेते हैं. पहला स्टेप है वास इज क्लैम्प्ड एट 2 पॉइंट्स. ठीक है, अ पीस ऑफ अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 1 सेंटीमीटर इज रिसेक्टेड फ्रॉम द सेगमेंट बिटवीन द 2 क्लैम्प्स. कट एंड्स को फिर लाइगेट कर दो, एंड्स को फोल्ड कर देंगे onto themselves and sutured in that position. The removed section is gently squeezed on the glass slide, stained with the right stain and examined under the microscope to confirm the removed part is the vas only and not any other structure. Again I am repeating the steps. The vas is clamped at 2 points. Then the piece of approximately 1 centimeter is resected from the segment between the 2 clamps. Cut ends are ligated, ends are folded on themselves and sutured in that position. Then removed section is put on the glass slide and stained with the right stain. It is the name of the stain, and examined under the microscope to confirm that the removed part is the vas only and it is not any other structure. Now what is the post-operative advice to be given after vasectomy? Okay, this is very important. So first is he should use another method of contraception till azoospermia is established. Avoid bathing for at least 24 hours at least. Should wear a T bandage or scrotal support, that is called langot, for 15 days after the surgery. Bandage should be kept dry and clean. Avoid cycling and weightlifting. To report back for stitch removal on the 5th post-op day, client should be warned that there is a small possibility of recanalization of the vas which may result in the failure of contraception. His written consent should include the acknowledgement of having received this information and he should report the serum analysis after 3 months. ठीक है. Post-op advice, again in 1 or 2 lines I am repeating. He should use another method of contraception till azoospermia. Avoid bathing for 24 hours. Should wear a T bandage or scrotal support or langot for 15 days. Avoid cycling or heavy weight lifting. Stitch removal on 5th day. Then there can be recanalization of the vas, written consent and semen analysis after 3 months. This is the post-op advice which has to be given after vasectomy. Failure rate 0.15 pregnancies per 100 women years. Mention some causes of failure of vasectomy. Mistaken identity of the vas at the time of surgery is the most important cause of failure of the vasectomy, because you are doing vas is only identified wrong. So how will be the surgery correct, right? Now complications: early complication, late complication and psychological complication. They are divided into 3 parts. Early complication, you will have pain, scrotal hematoma and you can see some local infection can be there. Late post-op, sperm granules will be there, spontaneous recanalization. And psychological means decreased sexual performance, impotence, fatigue and headache. Then mention some contraindications to the male sterilization surgery. Now what can be the contraindications? Who cannot undergo this surgery? First is active sexually transmitted infection, that is STI. Inflamed, swollen and tender tip of the penis, ducts or testicles. Scrotal skin infection or mass in the scrotum. Acute systemic infection or significant gastroenteritis, filariasis or elephantiasis. These are the absolute contraindications of the surgery. You can see them. Then relative contraindications, what are they? First is the hernia in the groin, bilateral undescended testicles, current AIDS related illness, coagulation disorder, previous scrotal surgery or injury, large varicocele or hydrocele, undescended testes. So again you can go through what are the absolute and relative contraindications of the vasectomy. Right, I hope you understand vasectomy. Please go through it. Coming to the next one, that is tubal ligation or female sterilization. Now name 2 surgical procedures which are used in the female sterilization. So first is the laparoscopy and second is the mini laparotomy or the mini lap. At which stage in the reproductive period of woman can the surgery be performed? So sterilization surgery, it can be performed how? At which stage? As an interval procedure. This is known as the interval sterilization. It should be performed within 7 days of the menstrual period because this is the follicular phase and the ovulation is yet to occur. Postpartum sterilization, that is done after 24 hours and within 7 days of delivery. Then at the time of MTP, it can be done concurrently with the MTP. Then following a spontaneous abortion, provided that the client is medically fit. So when you are performing within 7 days of menstrual period, it is called interval procedure. Then 24 hours after delivery and within 7 days of delivery. Then after MTP, after abortion, if the client is medically fit. So at these stages of reproductive period, this surgery can be performed. Which surgery is advocated for postpartum ligation? You will prefer mini laparotomy. Then who is eligible for performing these surgeries? Okay, so if you talk about mini lap, so MBBS doctor after training and certification in mini lap can perform the mini lap surgery. Laparoscopic sterilization, if you talk about, that can be done by a DGO, MD obstetrics and gynecology, MS surgery with training in laparoscopic sterilization. ठीक है, all these can perform the surgery. Now these doctors should be on the district panel, and this panel is to be updated every 6 months. Next question which can be asked is, in which conditions laparoscopic sterilization is not indicated? So when for the postpartum sterilization, then when done along with the second trimester abortion, the mini lap is the surgery of choice for tubal ligation under these circumstances, right? For postpartum, and if the abortion is second trimester, in these conditions the laparoscopic sterilization is not indicated. Then how many follow-ups are advocated under the national program after surgical sterilization of a woman? First follow-up is within 48 hours, second is on the 7th day for stitch removal, then third follow-up is done after 1 month or after the first menstrual period after sterilization. Okay, first is within 48 hours, second on the 7th day, third after 1 month when your first period comes, right? Then is the consent of a spouse essential? The client herself can give the consent. Consent of the spouse is not required for the sterilization. They say like this. Enumerates, but it should be, means at some places if you see practically, the consent of both husband and wife is taken, okay, for these kind of surgery. So practically it is not possible that only the client is given the consent and the surgery is performed. You have to take the consent of the spouse, definitely. Practically also, it is practice also, and it should be like that also, right? Then enumerate some post-op complications after tubal ligation surgery. So wound sepsis can occur, hematoma can occur in the abdominal wall, intestinal obstruction, peritonitis, tetanus, failure resulting in pregnancy, and rarely incisional hernia. Then mention the causes of failure of sterilization surgery. Failure can be due to technical deficiency in your surgical procedure, and second, again same thing, spontaneous recanalization of the fallopian tube. Then what is the failure rate? 0.5 pregnancies per 100 women years in the first year to 1.8 pregnancies per 100 women year in the subsequent years. Then management of a pregnancy resulting from failure of tubal ligation surgery. Now how can this be done? Okay, so the question is, mention the management of a pregnancy resulting from failure of tubal ligation. So rule out first ectopic pregnancy, as tubectomy predisposes to this. If the client does not wish to continue with the pregnancy, offer MTP or perform repeat sterilization surgery. And if the client wishes to continue the pregnancy, she should be medically supported throughout the pregnancy. Each case of pregnancy due to failure of tubectomy must be reported to the District Quality Assurance Committee, right? Now next question is, what are the side effects of tubal ligation? So surgery increases the risk of ectopic pregnancy should there be a failure resulting in conception. Compared to male sterilization, female sterilization is slightly more risky and often more expensive if there is a fee. Reversal surgery is difficult, expensive, and unavailable in most of the areas. Mention some contraindications to female sterilization surgery. Again, the contraindications divided into two parts, that is the absolute and the relative. First, we will see the absolute contraindications. Number 1, the serious postpartum or post-abortion complication, unexplained vaginal bleeding, severe preeclampsia, PID within the past 3 months, current STI, pelvic cancer, acute heart disease due to blocked arteries, deep vein thrombosis or pulmonary embolism. Then relative contraindications, fixed uterus due to previous surgery or infection, endometriosis, hernia, umbilical or abdominal wall, postpartum uterine rupture or perforation, or post-abortion uterine perforation. Then current breast cancer, uterine fibroid. and the last is moderate or severe high blood pressure above than 160/100. So this was about the female sterilization or the tubal ligation, right? So please again go through them, and if you have any doubt you can always ask. So I think we have come to an end regarding the contraception. In the next class we'll start with another topic of spotting. Thank you. Have a nice day.